What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Florida International Dynasty here on College Football 26. If you missed the last episode, definitely go ahead and check it out. It was a pretty good episode. We played the first three games of the season, going 3-0 and beating number 9 Alabama in the kickoff game. And then we blew out FCS Northwest, and then we blew out Florida Atlantic in the Don Shula Bowl. Now we got our biggest test of the season so far and starting ACC schedule. Clemson, number 4 FIU versus number 3 Clemson at home, or on the road for us, at home for Clemson. And then we got Virginia today, and then we got Florida State on the road. So it's going to be a tough few games. Tough game, tough episode probably. But this is the game of the week in college football. Obviously, number 3 versus number 4. That's going to be a very good game. Two top 5 teams in the same conference. That's always the best type of games. But like I do every time, gonna do recruiting, and I'll update you guys on the recruiting board. All right, we have some updates to the recruiting. We are having Gerald Grubbs visit Week 7 against Cal. That will be so that's a game to watch. Tyler Reddick is visiting next week against Virginia. But unfortunately, we're not going to get Jared Brooks. Oregon is just going too much into him. We were going 50 into him. It's just that they probably had better selling points. But I don't know if the complimentary visit still works, even if he's already committed. So just for now, we're going to keep him on the board. But he's going to go to Oregon. Joshua Vaccaro is also visiting next week against Virginia, as well as Isaiah Barr is also visiting Week 5 against Virginia. So that Virginia game is going to be a big game. We're throwing 50 on Alexander Paxton. We're hard selling aspirational goals. We're throwing 35 on Josh Ahmed. And we're throwing 35 on Alfonso because a bunch of different teams are now offering on him. So, yeah, we're going to have to put more hours into him. But overall, I think those are the only changes to the recruiting board or any sort of moving around points and stuff. But we have the biggest game of the season so far against Clemson. It is the game of the week. They are at 96 overall across the board. We are only an 83. They are 13 overall, is better than us. We're ranked number 4, but we've beaten Bama for the second time. Why can't we beat Clemson here to kick off ACC conference play in the game of the week against the best team in the ACC? Well, never mind. Miami is actually the best team in the ACC. The second best team in the ACC. Let's go to this game and let's beat these Clemson Tigers. All right, here we are on the road against the Clemson Tigers, number 3 ranked in the nation, number 3 versus number 4, the game of the week. I see they're doing their run down. I don't know what it's called. They run down a thing and they hit the rock. That's all I remember. But here comes out the FIU Panthers, the newest team to the ACC, starting off the season 3-0 and ranked number 4. We are underdogs in this game, but we've been underdogs in majority of these big matchups. So why can't we go ahead and do it again and beat these Tigers? All right, we start at the 15 with the ball. All right. Taking pulse isn't very good right now. Handoff Greg Carver up the middle for 4 yards. Now 2nd down and 6. We're going to go underneath on the drag to Briscoe, who is going to be stopped an inch short. All right, I don't know why the camera angle's like this, but we're going to run it. Carver gets the yardage needed for the first down. All right, 1st and goal. Awuzie is going to step up in the pocket. Awuzie is going to take it himself. For some reason, they are just not keeping the eyes or going after Awuzie. They know he can scramble. Maybe they don't have that much film on us because we are new to the ACC. But it's George Awuzie, the junior. He had the first points on the board. I'm assuming he just did the worm. And we take a 7-0 lead in this ball game. In the game of the week, look, they look at him and they just let him run by. I'm not complaining. We'll take the touchdown. All right, we're back on offense. This time a 3rd and 7. This is not the play I want. How will we convert this one? Awuzie is going to scramble for this one. He's going to get brought down after a 3-yard gain. That's going to be a field goal. Or we must have gone for it and gotten it. I thought we were just going to kick a field goal, so I didn't play the thing. Here you go. Outside. Dennis Bowe. Sophomore makes the grab for the first down. Right after the 1 yard run by Carver makes it 2nd down and 9. What are we going to do? We're going to throw underneath Malik Clark for 6. All right, here, 3rd down and 3. We're going to fire over the middle. It's caught. JoJo Stone in the end zone. It's the Stone Zone. That's what we're going to call the end zone. It's the Stone Zone for the senior JoJo Stone. He's been with us from the bottom, from going 4-8 to now number 3. And he gets a touchdown to give us a 2-score lead. All right, Clemson did score, so it is now 3rd and 7. Screen is really shaky. We're going to throw underneath Daryl Coffey. That's going to be yards short. All right, we got a field goal, and Clemson got a touchdown, so it is now 1st and 10. Play action, Awuzie rolling right. Awuzie is going to throw on the run to Sean Burke for 7. And then there's an injury to Ari Watford for Clemson. So that stops the clock for us. Awuzie is sacked. Didn't know who to throw it to, kind of panicked there. Lineman got beat. And Clemson stops the clock, so it's 3rd and 9 now. Still a minute and a half left. It's not the play I called. Okay, I genuinely don't know what the play is. So we're going to throw it outside there, and it's picked off. Intercepted. I just don't know what the play. I just don't know what the buttons are at all. So I thought I made what was the best read, and it wasn't. That ball is maybe not the. That was probably not the best read there. And Clemson's going to get a chance to Donovan Starr. That was the guy we tried to get in the transfer portal. We were getting pressured. Throw was not the best. So now we're on defense for the first time today. Clemson at the 6-yard line. They're going to start with a run. And there go we rally. All right, it's now 3rd down and goal. After the incompletion, can our defense get a stop on 3rd and goal? Over the middle, and he drops it. Drops the wide open touchdown. And unfortunately, that's going to be a field goal attempt for Clemson. So we hold them to only a field goal. And all right, Clemson doesn't take the lead, but they do tie it with a little over a minute left. All right, now we're going to be back out on offense. Here. Motion out Carver. Awuzie is looking and we're sacked, and he fumbles the football and we pick it up. It's just hard to throw the ball when literally you don't know any of the buttons. And your guys are getting jammed at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down to 19. Throw in the middle. Dennis Bowe, we're going to go hurry up here. I think we should just take it in the second half, really. All right, 3rd down and 11. I think what we're going to do is just try to launch it deep. Hopefully somebody makes the play. And we're going to throw it deep. JoJo Stone, incomplete. And we're going to have to punt the ball to Clemson here. Maybe I should have waited. All right, to start second half, we're on defense, and Clemson's about to score again. Oh, my gosh. Underneath. Great tackle. Cameron Tuttle, he's made a lot of those this year. And off. Nice tackle. Loss of 4. Now 3rd and long after the 4-yard loss. Come on, we need to get pressure on this guy. They do have 2-star tackles, so I don't know if we can get pressure on the edge right up the middle. Gets 13, almost gets the first down. It's 4th and 1. They're going to kick the field goal. I'd personally go for this one, but, you know, at least we hold them to a field goal, so. All right. We hold Clemson to another field goal, but now for the lead, so it's 2017. All right, we got a touchdown. So now it's 24-20. 3rd and 5. Dude, how am I supposed to get... Never mind, that's how we get it. Dion Briscoe with the catch on 3rd and 5, converts it. Another 3rd down moment. Stadium is loud. But Awuzie lofts it outside. And Briscoe makes the great grab. That was good coverage, but a better catch. Now at the 10-yard line. Stadium is starting to calm down. We're going to start with a run. Lobato up the middle. Derek Lobato in the end zone. Touchdown, Derek Lobato with the score. And look at that, baby. Untouched in the end zone is the 4-star true sophomore with the touchdown. And apparently we jump all the way to the 4th quarter, 4 minutes left. With the ball, Carver, handoff up the middle. Carver's in the end zone. Oh my gosh, we are absolutely starting to stick it to Clemson right now. Greg Carver in the end zone. Touchdown, Panthers. It's now 4th and 20 for the Tigers. They need an absolute miracle. A lot of our defensive linemen are a little banged up. He's going to lob it to the tight end, and the tight end can't make the grab. Great coverage by Tuttle. Turnover on downs. We get the ball at the 15-yard line. Absolutely no stadium pulse right now. We're going to keep it with Awuzie. Good keep from Awuzie. He's just going to dive, not risk the fumble there. Right, we are running shoot clock. We're up by 18, so if we get a field goal here, we'll be up by 21. Start with another run. Lobato cuts left, gets 4 yards. 3rd and 1. Hands off. Lobato gets it. Bowers for the 1st down. 2nd over to give. Kevin Bibbs cuts back up the middle of the field. Touchdown, FIU. And we are putting the BTA on Clemson to finish this game. Touchdown. We're up 25 points. This is going to be a huge victory. I don't know what 76 was doing. Could have made the tackle, but it didn't. And we walk out of Death Valley with a win. 45-20. We outscored them 28-3 in the second half. Your player of the game is George Awuzie. 250 passing yards, 3 total touchdowns. He's having himself a pretty good junior season. And we beat number 3 Clemson on the road to start ACC schedule with a win. Maybe with that win we jump to number 1, maybe number 2. We should definitely go up in rankings, at least minimum number 3. But looking at the stats, Awuzie 23 of 39, 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. I did throw that 1 pick. Rushing wise, Greg Carver 15 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown. Also had a fumble. Awuzie 8 carries, 9 yards. Touchdown, also had a fumble. Lobato 7 carries, 54 yards, or 52, 7.4 yards per carry, touchdown. So did Kevin Bibbs. So everybody who ran the ball got a touchdown today. Receiving wise, Daryl Coffey, the junior, led the team with 5 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Briscoe had 4 catches for 37 yards. JoJo Stone caught the other passing touchdown. Blocking wise, allowed 2 sacks, Moses Barnes and Rico Emanuel. Defensively, 9 tackles for Juan Figures, the edge rusher, 8 for Lindstrom, 7 for Cameron Tuttle. TFLs, 2 for Figures, 2 for Tuttle, 2 for Lindstrom, 1 for Herrick, Cleveland, Berkey, Berlin, and Abasiri. Sacks, 1 for Lindstrom, 1 for Juan Figures. Interceptions, 2. We had 1 for Jack Habert, transfer, and another transfer, Verdon Woodard with the other interception. Pass deflections, 1 for White, Lindstrom, and Tuttle. No forced fumbles. Did we have a defensive touchdown? No safety, no defensive touchdowns. Kicking wise, Alex Spann went 1 for 1 today. On his field goals, Juan Carnegie averaged 50 yards per punt at 1 inside the 20. Kick return, we had no kick returns. Punt returns, 4 punt returns for 68 yards for JoJo Stone. And that is a huge road victory to beat Clemson on the road, 45-20. We're starting the season 4-0 and 1-0 in ACC play. All right, updates to recruiting. Garrett Brooks did commit to Oregon. We are third for Joshua Vaccaro, which isn't good. Isaiah Bars, we are fourth in. Also not good, but they're both visiting this week. So is Tyree Riddick. So this is a big week. Jared Brooks commits, unfortunately, but yeah, we knew that was going to happen, so we'll take that. We knew that was going to happen, so not too mad. But look at that. We are number 1 in the nation now with A+ championship contender, C+ brand exposure, Miami, because Miami lost to Texas 42-20. So that makes us the number 1 team in the nation. We're getting 37 votes in the media poll. We're also first in the coaches poll. So look at that. Number 1 in the nation and only an 83 overall. But now we have a big matchup at home against Virginia to start our first home game in the ACC, in an ACC game. But it's not important because, Virginia is number 4 or anything. It's because we have a ton of recruits visiting this week. We have Tyree Riddick, we have Joshua Vaccaro, and we have Isaiah Bars all visiting this week. We dropped to second for Gerald Grubbs. Unfortunate. So that's Jared Brooks. We're not going to be getting Jared Brooks. I'm going to keep him on there. I don't know if he still would visit us. I don't know. Maybe he would, but he's committed somewhere. So I don't know how that works. So we're just going to move him down. All right. Updates on the recruiting board. Gerald Grubbs, we moved down in second, unfortunately. We're still first for Tyree Riddick. If we beat Virginia and we blow them out, we should be getting Tyree Riddick. Joshua Vaccaro, that's a tough one. He does have a Week 7 visit with Florida, and Miami is also going after him, so that's going to be a tough one to get there. We're throwing 50 on Isaiah Bars, hoping that, we can still stay in the race. Again, a blowout win would definitely help us getting him. But then we found another gem center, Alex Hicks. From Hampton, Virginia. He's got 81 pass block, 84 pass block power, 82 pass block fitness, 74 awareness. He could be a very good player right off the bat. Nobody's currently going after him, so we offered him a scholarship and threw 25 points onto him. So those are the updates to the recruiting board. Hopefully we can get all these guys that are visiting this week. It's the two defensive backs and the 1 offensive lineman, and maybe Jared Brooks. I still don't know if they committed somewhere and they have visit already scheduled. They'll still go. I don't know, but that'd be cool if we can get the boost. So this will be a big week against Virginia at home. They are currently sitting at 2-2. This is their first game in ACC play. They are sitting at a 67 overall. We are sitting at an 83 overall at home. Let's go ahead and continue this winning streak. All right, here we are at home at Pit Bowl Stadium. It looks like it is raining, or maybe it's not. I still don't know. It looks like I don't know. It's cloudy. It is raining. So we got a rain game here versus the Virginia Cavaliers at home. Let's go. All right, starting at first and goal from the 9-yard line. Started to give Lobato up the middle, breaks the tackle. Virginia defensive lineman gets 7 yards. Second and goal. Slant! JoJo Stone wide open in the end zone on the RPO slant bubble. We'll take that. Lucky we got that one off. There was a guy right in Awuzie's face, but he delivers a great ball to the wide open JoJo Stone in the Stone zone. You get high in the Stone zone, apparently. But we're on the board. JoJo Stone gets us the first points of the game. It was a wobbler, but still got it to the senior wideout. All right, defensively, we'll start 3rd and 4. Quarterback's got all the time in the world to throw. Dude, we have to get pressure on this guy. That's the one thing we can't do, is just give him all the time in the world. There you go, read option. Oh my god, quarterback's gonna keep it. First down, Virginia. First and 10, read option. He's going to keep it again. I didn't know Virginia was just a read option team. But apparently they are, and they're going to get in the end zone. Touchdown, Virginia. All right, we scored another touchdown. Now we have it at the 13. Throw the RPO screen there to Briscoe. Second on 7. Handoff. Lobato can't quite break the tackle of the defensive lineman. All right, third down and 2. Lob it. Barker makes the grab. I had to hold on the ball a lot longer than I wish. Another defender in his face. Boudier delivers a nice little sort of a floater to Barker, who kicks down the door. And that's what we're trying to do against Virginia. Kick the doors off of Virginia. The transfer Andrew Barker gets the score. Nice, just a little floater to the open tight end. All right, we got a 2-minute drill here. First and 20. How do we get maybe a holding call? We're going to run screen here for Kevin Bibbs. Going to get 4 yards. All right, third down and 16. Oh my gosh, he's open. Awuzie to the end zone. Touchdown! JoJo Stone! What a throw by Awuzie! Threw that way too late. Didn't see it till the last second. And Awuzie throws an absolute dime to JoJo Stone for his second touchdown grab of the season or the game. I thought he was going to drop that, but he holds on. And we got the ball back again at the 6. Oh my goodness. It's maybe blowout territory. First and goal handoff. Carter in the end zone untouched. That's 35 points in the first half for our offense. This could be a potential 60-bomb game if we continue the second half. Virginia still have a second half left of football, but they're going to have a perfect half if they want to come back in this game. Greg Carver untouched. Great run blocking, and we're up 28 points. Looks like another turnover for Virginia. We got the ball back at the 13. My gosh, I would not want to be a Virginia fan right now. Sean Burke. We're going to go hurry up. 1-1. We're going to give it Carver up the middle. Carver down at the 1. All right, now third and goal. From the 4. We're going to fit that in there. Malik Clark wide open in the end zone. Make that 42 first half points. Yikes, Virginia. Maybe you guys need to get out of the ACC because this is embarrassing. We didn't even score this many points against FCS. Lee Clark in the end zone, touchdown. It's just an absolute blowout right now. Might have to start putting the backups in. First and 10, handoff. Carver gets 1 yard. Awuzie over the middle. Malik Clark makes the grab. First down. Awuzie has 5 touchdowns today and nearly 300 passing yards. That's his 103rd completed pass on the season. That could have been targeting there from 45, but refs don't call it. Down at the 2-yard line. Lobato's in the game. Third and goal. Hands off Lobato, and we're going to be stuffed. And there's an injury. Jesus Christ. There's an injury to Rico Emmanuel, our freshman guard, down on the play. All right, back on offense. Third down and 3. Hand it off. Bibbs gets the first down. All right, I think we're going to throw the backups in here. We're up by 38 points. They would need a miracle here, and plus we're in field goal range, so we can even extend our lead. Look at Kevin Bibbs fighting for yardage. Gets the first down. Second down and 10. Cornell slant to Coffee. Makes the grab for 8 yards. Now running play action outside to Daly, who's in the end zone? No way in hell he was in the end zone. What? He was nowhere even close unless he stretched the ball. I didn't see it. Alexander Daly on the nice little rollout pass. Maybe he stretched the ball? I thought there's no way he's in the end zone. But alright, they keep it. So now Virginia scored a touchdown, so it's 52-10 right now. Cornell's going to try to scramble. Yeah, we're going to get sacked there. Motion, Dennis Bowie. Come on, Davis. Good block. Good cut. Bowie in the end zone. Dennis Bowe scores on the jet touch pass. He goes in untouched. And it is now 59 or 58 right now, extra point. 58-10 now. We're blowing out Virginia. And that will do it. Absolute whooping to Virginia. 59-10. Awuzie, 281 passing yards, 5 touchdowns for the junior quarterback, continuing his great season. Look at that, Dennis Bowe. Nice little jet touch pass for the touchdown. We didn't even beat FCS that bad. We didn't even beat Florida Atlantic that bad. But we blow out Virginia. Wasn't even a competition. Alright, we'll look at Awuzie. Went 20 for 26, 281 yards, 5 passing touchdowns. Danny Cornell, who came in, went 3 for 3 for 26 yards. Also had 2 touchdowns. Quarterback rating of 392.8. I think that's a lot. Kevin Bibbs, 21 carries, 104 yards. Greg Carver had 18 carries, 870 yards, and a touchdown. Receiving wise, it was Malik Clark with 6 catches, 100 yards, and a touchdown. But it was JoJo Stone, 5 catches, 97 yards, 3 touchdowns. Briscoe with 3 catches for 42 yards. Andrew Barker, Dennis Bowe, who is hurt, and Alexander Daly all got touchdowns as well. Blocking, we had 1 sack from backup guard Sam Chen. Defensively, 4 tackles for Alani Queen led the team. TFL's 1 for Kellen Lindstrom, sack for Kellen Lindstrom, 3 picks. Jet White, Jaja Boyd, and Keenan Levrone all had 1 pass deflection for White, Levrone, and Elias. Forced fumble from Alani Queen. We didn't recover it. Did we get a safety or defensive touchdown? No. Kicking wise, Alex Spann, the freshman, went 1 for 1, 8 for 8 on extra points. Punting, Carnegie averaged 51 yards per punt and had 2 inside the 20. That's a good punting day. Briscoe had 1 kick return for 26 yards. There's some nice punt returns from our guys. But look at that. Blowing out Virginia 59-10. That's probably the most points we've ever won by. 49-point victory over Virginia. And we move to 5-0 and 2-0 in ACC play. All right, Awuzie breaks another record. Florida International single-game passing touchdowns record with 5 against Virginia. He gets his name in the record books here at FIU again. Look at that, Awuzie, passing touchdowns 5 in 2028. And then we look at a season. Awuzie broke the record in last year for most passing yards in the season with 3,300 yards. So he could go down in FIU history books as one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in a Panther uniform. But we're going to go ahead here and go to week 6. That should absolutely help us in recruiting. Major blowout. Wasn't even close. All right. Tyree Riddick didn't commit, but he's in his top 3. Vaccaro, we are in second 4. We got locked out of Isaiah Bars. Okay. So nobody commit. Dang, I thought we would have gotten at least 1 commit. But we don't. And also our championship contender, we're down to an A. I don't know how. We just blew out Virginia. Whatever. But then we have another tough game on the road, Florida State. They are 3-2, 1-1 in conference play. The Dennis Bowe injury is a pretty significant one. It's a dislocated elbow for Bowe, so he's going to miss probably the rest of the season, regular season at least. He'll probably play in the conference championship if we make it. So that will give more playing time for some of the freshmen. We should be getting Tyree Riddick. Vaccaro, that could be a tough one. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. That's going to be a tough one. But I'll do recruiting here, and I'll update you guys on the board. All right, updates to recruiting. I don't think we really changed much like on hours and guys, but we are having Paxson visiting against Cal, and same thing with Abdul Dunn. We're also having him visit with Cal, so that's gonna be a big game against Cal. We also have Gerald Grubbs visiting that week, so that's gonna be a big game against Cal. But overall, I don't think we really changed much on anybody. So we'll jump into this game against Florida State at home. Florida State's a tough place to play, man. But so far, it hasn't meant anything. I'm not trying to jinx it, but so far, these toughest places to play, we've been kind of going in there, kicking their ass. But we are in 83. They are in 85 overall. So, and it's a road game, so it's going to be tough. So let's go ahead here and jump into this game against Florida State. The Battle of Florida. This is going to be a rivalry. Us, Miami, and Florida State. It's going to be a big rivalry. Hopefully throughout this season or this ACC era. But we're here in Tallahassee, Florida with the Seminoles. And I like the stadium. I like the spears on things. I think that's pretty cool. But Florida State, maybe not having the start of the year they want. They're sitting at 3-2 on the season. And they are inviting the #1 team, FIU, into their home. And we're looking to continue this win streak against the Seminoles. All right, we're starting this drive at the 11. Stadium pulse is absolutely maxed. Start the run. Carver up the middle. Look at Carver. Look at that blocking from our line. We're going to the tight end, Sean Burke, who makes the grab, and it's in the end zone. What a play by Sean Burke. Makes the tough grab. 3 Florida State defenders couldn't bring him down. Look at the senior Sean Burke. Great play that was way behind him. Broke actually 3 tackles. They just kind of were like, you know what? We'll just let you score. But we get our first defensive moment here. First and goal, RPO on the outside, 2 yards. All right, 3rd and goal from the 2. Can our defense make a goal line stand? Hand off. We're all over that. Jack Habart, the transfer, makes a good play. And Florida State's going to have to settle for a field goal. And they will just take it to the second quarter. And they're deciding to actually go for it here. Maybe that's why they decided to take it to the second quarter. But they're going to go for it here. 4th and goal. Toss outside. Can we make the play? And we stop him at the 1. What a play from our defense, but now we're at the 1-yard line. What are we going to do? Unfortunately, we're not going to do much with it. Because we give the ball right back to them on 3rd and 8. Unblitzed! Unblocked! Juan Figures goes unblocked on the quarterback. Somebody messed up on the pass protection assignments. There's no way was he supposed to go unblocked right at the quarterback. Juan Figures, the junior edge rusher, just goes in unblocked. That's his 2nd sack of the day. All right, we got to convert a 3rd down and 2 now. Stadium pulse is still wild. We're going to hit the tight end over the middle. They blitz the linebackers. That means the middle of the field's going to be wide open, and we'll take that. All right, somehow Florida State got the ball back. We must have turned it over or something, because now they have it 3rd and 9. They're going to go empty formation. Quarterback's got time, runs out, has to just heave it up, and it's incomplete. Great play from the defensive back there. All right, it's now 3rd down and 4. Florida State's got the ball back here. They're going to do a run outside. Great blocking. Gets outside. Tuttle, or Lindstrom, saves the potential touchdown. And we're going to go to 2-minute timeout. 2nd goal. Handoff of the middle. Look at that. We stop them. We're going to use our first timeout there. They now have it at the 1-yard line. Can our defense make another goal line stand? Handoff. He's in the end zone. Runs over number 22 there. And they are going to tie this game. I don't know why they're sad. Brian Jackson gets in the end zone, runs over. I want to say that's probably Woodward. Yeah, Woodward. Right now we got to go 2-minute drill here. No stadium pulse, so we're going to fire there to Burke, who can't make the tough grab on the linebacker. 2nd down and 10. Underneath, Daryl Coffey gets 6. 3rd down and 4. Underneath, Burke gets the 1st down. We're going to go hurry up here. Snap the ball. Here, play action. Awuzie is going to heave it. It's picked off. Okay, cool. Yeah, throw out a sack right to the fucking defender, because why wouldn't it be right to the defender? And that's an interception for Florida State. I tried to throw it deep, give our receiver at least a chance, and it's a throw out a sack right to the defensive player. So Florida State now has a chance to take the lead before halftime. All right, Florida State at the 3. 15 seconds left. They're going to actually pass it here. Quarterback's got time. Their quarterback's just going to step up and scramble. We have one of our defensive guys just kind of sitting out of play. He just kind of I don't know. Maybe he saw a shining light in the crowd and was like, whoa, what's that? Because he just ran out of bounds and didn't even... I mean, we got to get pressure on these quarterbacks, dude. They're getting too much time. All right. Now 3rd down and 6 from around 26. Can we convert this? We're looking underneath. Deion Briscoe makes the catch for the 1st. 2nd down and 7. Outside, Sean Burke at least gets the 1st down. 1st and goal, give. Carver goes in the end zone. Untouched on the run. We've had a lot of untouched rushing touchdowns this season, and that's another one for Greg Carver. And we're going to tie this one 14 all. Hopefully you make this extra point. With 7:42 left in the 3rd quarter, Greg Carver feels like he's gotten a lot of touchdowns this year. And adds another one to his stat sheet. All right, we got to stop Florida State again. 1st and 10. RPO outside number 10. He might go in unblocked as well, or untouched again. Yep, we sent the blitz because our guys are getting no pressure. So I figure, hey, we need to get pressure. Best way to get pressure is blitz, and they took advantage of it. Had an RPO to BJ Gibson for the touchdown. All right, now we're at the 17 here. Can our defense or offense get a play here? Underneath, Sean Burke, run after catch. Gets down to the 5-yard line. Gonna motion Carver, gonna allow, yeah, that's picked off. Okay, I panicked, dude. I'm selling this game right now. I thought that, you know, instead of running into the corner for the entire route, he would maybe break out, and he didn't. Yeah, they sent the blitz there, and I freaked out a little bit, and we threw another pick. Zay Thomas. Yeah, they sent the blitz. I mean, we weren't really but he just keeps running into him, and then, oh my god, it's just bad. All right, but we score, and now we have the ball back, so maybe it's not all too terrible. Look at that light box. We're going to run it on that light box. Greg Carver only gets 2 on that. 2nd down and 8, and we're sacked. Oh my gosh, we had a guy streaking over the middle of the field wide open, but offensive line just didn't block that very well. And it's 3rd down and 14 now. Basically a 3rd down and pray, and Wuze didn't hear the play call. So, but he did apparently. So we're gonna roll right, and we're just gonna make it easier field goal for Alex Spann. All right, and we got the field goal, so we're up 24-21. We now have the ball. We're going to run shoe clock here. Hands off Lobato. He's really banged up. I don't even know why he's in the game if he's that banged up. Okay, Bibbs is back. Short, underneath to Briscoe. Florida State's going to use another timeout there. But it's 3rd down and 3. Awuzie rolling right. Awuzie has an open man in the end zone. Touchdown! JoJo Stone was just sitting in the end zone. Awuzie finds him at the very last second before stepping out of bounds. Big play, Awuzie. That's what we're calling big play Awuzie in the Stone zone. Both connect there. Yeah, that's very reminiscent. That reminds me of the Joe Burrow touchdown versus the Raiders, the wild card game. Remember that? All right, 4th and 4. Florida State has to go for it here. If we get a stop, this will be the game. Underneath, and he's just going to get enough. Another 4th down. They have to go for it here, so pretty much expect a pass here in 4th and 9. Quarterback's got time. He's going to launch it deep, and it is incomplete. Turnover on downs, and that will seal it here in Tallahassee, Florida. We scored 17 points in that 4th quarter to win 31-21 against Florida State. Greg Carver was your player of the game. 16 attempts, 110 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the junior halfback. Look at that Awuzie. Look at that play. Awuzie almost stepped out of bounds. Stone was just sitting there wide open in the end zone. That was pretty scary, because I thought Stone for some reason was going to go right towards the coverage, because, you know, why wouldn't he? But he didn't. He stayed there. It was a good ball from Stone on the run. And we escaped Florida State with a win. Awuzie went 24-37, 307 yards, 2 touchdowns. Those picks, throw sack right into the linebackers. Just it happens. It happens in this game apparently. You know, if you get hit as you're throwing, it's gonna go right to a defensive player. Then the other pick was my fault. I was kind of panicking, but it doesn't matter. We still ended up winning. Greg Carver, 16 carries, 110 yards, 2 touchdowns. Obviously was your player of the game. Bottle had 4 carries for 22 yards. Receiving wise, Sean Burke, 8 catches, 87 yards and a touchdown. But Malik Clark with 125 yards and 6 grabs. Stone, 5 catches, 64 yards and a touchdown. Blocking, we allowed only 1 sack. Rico Emmanuel with the 1 sack. 9 tackles, Jaja Boyd, 8 Cameron Tuttle, 7 for Evan Elias. TFL's 4 for Juan Figures. Alani Queen, Jack Habert, Jeff Cleveland with 1. 2 sacks for Juan Figures. He did get no interceptions. 3 pass deflections from Cameron Tuttle. No safety, no defensive touchdowns. Kicking, Alex Spann went 1 for 1. 4 for 4 on extra points. Punting, Carney averaged 48 yards per punt. Kick return, About had a kick return for 32 yards. Punt return, Stone averaged 16 yards per return. Wasn't the prettiest game, wasn't the cleanest game we played at all. I almost sold the game, but we came up clutch. Defense came up clutch. Offense came up clutch. 4th quarter pretty much won us that game. So we'll take that, and we are now 6-0, 3-0 in Conference USA play, and we are number 1. Our recruiting updates. We have 3 guys visiting: Gerald Grubbs, Paxson, and Abdul Dunn. Gerald Grubbs, we're currently in 2nd. Ole Miss is starting to pull away a little bit there, but with a win today and a blowout victory, we should hopefully get Grubbs. We are 1st for Paxson, 1st for Abdul Dunn, who are both visiting this week. So, like I said, a win's going to be big. Alfonso's in his top 5. We are 1st. We're also 1st for Hicks. Vaccaro does go to Miami. Miami barely beats us out. So there's the recruiting. We so far have gotten 0 commits through 7 weeks. But, you know, we should hopefully be getting Tyree Reddick. Vaccaro, unfortunately, goes to Miami. But we're 1st for some of these guys, you know. Got locked out of Goodley. But, you know, not good updates in the recruiting side, but I'd rather, be number one in the nation, 6-0, and 3-0 in conference play, than have, a few losses and a few commits. So, we go 3-0 in this episode. Again, next episode, we'll start with a game against Cal. We're playing up to an 84 overall. We are number one in the nation. We're probably also first in the conference. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Stanford's 3-1. Pittsburgh's 3-1. No Miami. Yeah, Miami lost again to Virginia Tech. So they are all the way down at number 19. But this was a great episode. 2 huge wins on the road and a blowout victory. We'll take it. This was probably one of the best episodes. Would have liked to at least get 1 or 2 commits, but we still have the second half of the season, and we have the off-season recruiting, so there's still plenty of time to get some commits. But hopefully you guys are enjoying year number 4. I know I am, because we're number 1. We're 6-0. Best start to a season we've ever had. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. Hope you guys are also enjoying the Jets franchise. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.